was Alice actually attacked by Jason at the end of Friday the 13th? It's been widely speculated that at the end of Friday the 13th, after Alice Hardy kills Pamela Voorhees and drifts on a boat to the middle of the lake, that Jason attacks her, trying to pull her underwater. But did this actually happen? Or was it, as Sean Cunningham originally intended, nothing more than a dream or hallucination? My theory is yes. It was either a dream or possibly Alice hallucinating from the amount of trauma she experienced just hours before. I believe that Alice was woken up by the sirens of a police car and still in a state of shock hallucinates Jason pulling her underwater, explaining why we still see Jason as a child. This is also why she goes overboard, but the cop that's clearly looking at her doesn't see any attacker. The only question is, how was it that Alice knew what Jason looked like to even hallucinate him at all? I believe it to be very likely that Steve Christie, the owner of Camp Crystal Lake in the first film, may be to blame for this. It's very likely that Steve would have documents involving Jason's drowning, as well as pictures provided by Pamela during the search for her son. With how close Alice and Steve were, I find it hard to believe that Steve never shared any of this information with her, or that she didn't know anything about it in the first place. While upon meeting Pamela near the end of the film, Alice would likely have forgotten who she was from past pictures that Steve probably had. It was likely Pamela was very unassuming when she was younger and very easily forgotten about. But Jason would have been something that stuck out in her mind just simply by his appearance alone. When Pamela begins telling Alice the story of Jason drowning and how the counselors were to blame, Alice begins to panic, fearing for her life, so the information never sinks in, at least until she's on the boat. Calmly making sense of everything that happened and realizing just who Pamela was and who she was talking about. That shock, mixed with the knowledge that she could be floating over Jason's watery grave, created a mental projection of what Alice would imagine Jason would look like after all this time underwater. This explains why the next time we see Jason, he's already an adult, as well as why the cop says they never found any boy after Alice proclaims that Jason pulled her under the water. That's my theory, but do you agree? Do you think Jason was actually there to pull Alice into the lake, or was it all an hallucination? Or do you have a theory of your own? Please comment below, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as well as hitting the notification bell to be alerted whenever a new Dark Theories video is uploaded. As always, I am JG Dark, and thanks for watching.